Part 6. Now, this is where I'm going to make the map change a bit, but I want to show you what happens when you have a leak with water, because this is a problem that many people will probably run into or have run into. I know I tried showing it in one of the other videos, but it's not quite as noticeable when you haven't got water, although it will make the lighting weird, but because of how simple the map is, it wasn't really noticeable. So I've got a big leak, right? Notice the water is like that.
Cowboy!
That's what happens when you have a leak. And yeah, if you got a leak, check for it will make a point file, and you can see it's just going to here because this is the closest entity. Yeah, that's what happens, because it can't really compute the lighting and stuff when there's a gap into the void. So anyway, I'm gonna go on to the next part, but I'm gonna move that. First, I'm gonna complete this trap, and then, well, let me make the entrance, because that's kind of gonna be part of it. I'm going to make a kind of tunnel in here. You'll see exactly what I'm going to do. I might just make it grey like that. And I'm going to switch to the no draw texture, because when you make displacements, displacements do not seal the map, so you still have to actually let me sort that out. And I'm actually gonna make this, I'm gonna make a tunnel for the activator side as well. Move that up a bit. I'm gonna make his side a little bit bigger. I've got to complete this really, so let's drag that like that, just to make things neat, because we don't want to have any leaks. I'll bring that up. I can actually bring this wall completely down like that, because it doesn't really matter. Then this is where I'm going to use the no draw texture. I'm gonna kind of make a box around it. Now, no draw, although it doesn't show, and you can see into the void, it still seals the map. I tell you what, I'm gonna do this. I'm just gonna make it like that, and then actually let's Let's change that a bit. Slight change of plan there. You'll see how this comes together. I'm just gonna do that for now. We'll worry about that soon. So let's make another texture. Got a good idea for this. We're gonna have a go at making some lasers. We'll just use that. Don't really care if it's not the best quality. Be resizing it anyway. And then let's copy that. And I will make the outside transparent. Okay. Front-facing troll face. VTF edit, let's go. Now, there's something you're gonna have to do here. Front-facing troll face. Now, if you just put that in, it will... Well, I'll show you. With the default VMT, you will see it's got a black background because we haven't told it that it's translucent. But actually, you can save a bit of file space by using alpha test here, because it only has it's either transparent or it's not. There's no sort of in between. So it's actually slightly better for performance, although it doesn't really matter too much. It's you know, just for a single texture, having it translucent's hardly gonna do much. But I thought I'd show you. Yeah, it doesn't really say file size, but it can save a bit of performance, but not really a problem on, especially not on a map like this. But you never know, if you really want to make your map as optimized as possible, that's something you can do. You'd want to use translucent if your image has some transparency, you know, like a window, then you'd want to use translucent. Now, I'm going to show you how to use Env Laser here. And what we're going to do is try to line it up with the eyes. Also, with Env Laser, you want to make sure it's slightly off, at least by one. this is, remember, this is going to be trap 9, and we're gonna make it have a high amount of damage. Should we say energy? You can play around with the beam color. I'm actually going to keep this as white though, but I'm going to make the how big are the eyes? Should we say 8? Amount of noise. I tell you what, I'll give it some noise. It's quite windy outside now, and for a laser to work, you need some targets. Now this is quite a big area here, so I'm going to need to make quite a few for it to work properly. You've got to imagine, you don't need them, you got to think, like, how wide is a player? You know, let's say 64 by 64. You want there to at least be some you don't need them to be too close, but you need them to be close enough. Okay, first of all, before we copy these, let's name these trap 9. Let's call it target, and we're gonna just copy these. Right, let's copy these over. We're going to change the settings of the laser in a moment. So, let's make this a different color here. Or different texture. I'm gonna do a tiled floor here. So on here, you're gonna want to do target of laser. Well, it's going to be the target. Now, something unique to sort of end laser is that it tells you here, target of laser. Yeah, the target is randomly chosen if there's multiple of the same name. So although it's pointing to this one because that's the first one I did, it will randomly do any of these. And what we want to do is make sure that it, well, we'll see how it works, but it should, you know, do it really quickly. And I'm gonna put another one on this side. See there, this side. So it's the 2 eyes, and then that would just go. It should just go really fast. And we'll test that. Yeah, because that's. Yeah, I've got to rename that as well. Remember, I shifted it. Let's make sure that's working. Right, so in the relay, we're gonna do on trigger laser, turn on, and we'll say after 5 seconds we'll turn it off. So let's compile that and see how it goes. still got the leak on. I've got to... Well, I've obviously got another leak, but I can go and sort that out. Let's just check if this is working. Oh, yeah. Actually, I might have given it a bit too much noise there, so I might turn that down a bit. Let's go and find out where this leak is. Oh yeah, because I thought I put something there. Obviously not. Okay, there's a bit too much noise, so let's make it 16. Try that again. Okay. Yeah, I'll have another look. Let's test it. That's a bit better, I think. That should be good enough. I'm gonna figure out what's causing this leak. I thought I'd sealed everything. See, this is why the point file is useful. Ah, yes. See that? You only need just a tiny gap. I don't know why it did that. You only need a tiny gap, and that can cause a leak. Alright, should be good this time. And I'm going to stand in the trap now, because I want to see how effective it is. Some people, they don't use a big grid, and then, you know, they end up having these tiny leaks everywhere, and it is such a pain to like go and find all of them. And then you think you're done, and then you find another one. It's best to just make sure you get it right.
Freedom!
Remember, this is only like that because there's no draw, but you know, the water's here, so that means there's no leak. I might need to...
Demo, it's Pauling. I've got a contract for you.
Might need to maybe narrow that down a bit, because you can see, although it goes quickly, there's still...
I know the way to do it!
Get in. So, tell you what, I'm gonna redo that. But it's nice to have a variety. Or what I could do is, no, I can't really make it bigger. But I could reduce the amount. See, I was thinking about maybe. I was thinking about maybe making a wedge, because I had a feeling this might be an issue. It's not a problem. We can just redo it. Blah 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 blah. Actually, why am I doing this? Go on entity report. Since these are the only ones there, I can just delete all of them. Let's start. Let's redesign that. So I'm gonna put some wedges here. This is where we're gonna start using. We're gonna start clipping things a bit more now, making more advanced shapes. So you see what I'm doing there? I'm using the clipping tool to make some wedges. I think this will be a bit better. I wanted to do that. I just thought I'd try it out. And here you're gonna want to put an invisible texture here so that the activator can see through that side. I'm gonna save that just in case it crashes or something. And we can be a bit more be a bit more stingy without info targets here. So let's copy. Hang on, are we? Yep, that's okay. That's right. Should be a bit more effective. 'Cause that's the thing. When you've got loads. It's trying to hit all of them, but then because there's so many, the chances of it hitting the one that you're the one that you're standing on is a lot smaller. See here, we can have a lot less now. Let's give that a go. You could also have more lasers to increase the chance of it hitting random ones, which I might do that, have 2 on each eyes if this doesn't quite work. Should work better though. Let's say I'm a noob. Yeah, I'm gonna have to I might have to reduce the noise again. I don't normally deal with lasers, but I think it's good to know how, because they do. I tell you what, it would help if that wasn't actually stuck like that. I mean, that should be alright. Reduce the noise to 8. Because I want a little bit of noise, but not too much. And, you know, they're all... you know, that's a lot of damage per second, so that should work. Let's give that a go. Right, come on. This is part of making a death
How about them
run.
lads?
Sometimes when you're doing things, they might not quite work as you thought they did, and you've got to change things a bit.
Ah!
I think that's reasonable.
Demo, it's Pauling. I've got a contract for you.
Tell you what, we'll give it another go. You don't want it to be too easy that you can just walk through. You still want it to kill anyone who's there.
Freedom! Oh!
Yeah, I mean, even if it's not instant, it's still, you know, if you're there, you're gonna die. So I think that's a fair trap. That's done. We can move on from that. I tell you what, I'm gonna make. I'm gonna finish this video, this part here, because that took a little bit longer than I expected, and I think it's, you know, I know the displacements part is gonna take a bit longer. So yeah, see you in the next video for making displacements, and that's making fancy terrain. See what we're gonna do here. We're gonna make a tunnel.